Hello, welcome Simon's Trading Channel. Welcome back. It's Tuesday. Hope you've had a great day and you're feeling well. Now, I am going to dive straight in with the price action. You'll be pleased to know once I've just shared a little story with you. Now, I have to start this story with a bit of context. So I'm 46 years old. I know what you're all thinking. How is that possible, Simon? You look way older. No, hopefully a bit younger. So yeah, I've been around a while, and I went to university in 1996, right? And that was the year for me I first started to realize a bit about emails. Okay, I think they'd probably been around a little bit before then, but you know, electronic communication was in its infancy. So, 1996. Naive 18-year-old emails, okay? I remember someone telling me about emails and it was like, have you read your emails? Because there's a university email list. I didn't know what they were talking about. I didn't have a clue. What was this? What was this you were talking about, this guy? And when he explained to me what an email was, my response was, well, why can't I send them a letter? Which I know now sounds ridiculous because we now live in a life of emails. But at the time, it was quite new. So that was my response. Anyway, since then, clearly I've sent quite a few. I'd hazard a guess at a few thousand. I'm not going to get into hyperbole and say millions. However, it's a few, right? I'd say I'm pretty experienced in sending emails and indeed receiving them. And of course, when you send an email, you're sending it to someone, so there's a receiver. And then if you want other people to have a quick look at it as well, you can CC them. And this is the point of the story. So, 46 years old, been emailing since 1996. Only today have I found out what CC'd means. Only today. And it stands for carbon copied. Which, for those of you who can't remember, or are too young, or, just didn't realise, carbon copy was the thing when you used to write things down. If you wanted to write it down on one piece of paper and have that duplicated on another piece of paper, in between your two pieces of paper, you'd put this special piece of material called a carbon copy. And then when you wrote it down on the top piece of paper, it would instantly appear on the bottom piece of paper as well. So you'd have two. So you'd have a carbon copy of what you'd written. And that's what CC is all about. Oh, wow. I feel like a weight has been lifted off. And from now on, everyone I meet, from this point onwards, I'm going to ask them if they know what CC stands for with regards to emails. And I will congratulate those who already know. And I will share my surprise with those who, like me, have been rather slow on the uptake. Anyway, I hear you saying, shut up, Simon. You're supposed to be talking about trading. And so here I go. Another installation of my daily Bitcoin price action analysis. Oh, and by the way, I'll happily look at any chart. Anything you can trade, I'll look at and hopefully make some sense out of. It's just that traders love Bitcoin because it's probably the most volatile, tradable thing out there. So, yeah. So, yeah, there's a weekly chart, right? And I got these little blue lines on. And these little blue lines just represent 50% retracements of each of the individual moves up. So that move up to there, 50% retracement to the blue line. This move up here, 50% retracement to the blue line. Then there's basically consolidation. And then from this bottom up to here, 50% move down, blue line. And then from that bottom up to the top, 50% retracement, move down. You see the point. And I've brought it up in various guises over a few different videos. Remember to do this, you need to have your chart on regular, not on logarithmic. Anyway, the point is that so far in this bull run, the 50% retracement of each move has not been closed on a weekly below. All right. So if that continues to be the case, then the logic would suggest that that the wick of this candle is unlikely to be weekly closed below, if that makes sense. Okay, there we are. Right. So on that note, I'm just going to zoom back down to the 4 hour. And here we go. So yesterday's video was talking about this downtrend on the lower time frames and how Bitcoin was sort of making a bit of a suggestion that it was deciding other things, or it was looking for other things, i.e. an uptrend. And the price action was here at the time, and it's retraced quite a lot of the previous day, which makes me slightly less convinced than yesterday. However, it's still got a chance because it still hasn't really broken down the 50% retracement from this move up here, which I'll show you again. I'm just doing this roughly. Whoa, stay there, stay there. So it's the 50% retracement is right there. So basically 61,000. Remember that number. So below there, you would expect, or I personally would expect more downside, and more downside in a downtrend just means continuation of the trend, obviously. But 61,000 is interesting because if I get up my trusty MACD, which is my own personal momentum oscillator, and if you can't remember how I use it, well, I'll remind you. So I don't really use it to trade. I just use it to give me a steer on momentum, and I do that by using the zero line. So when it crosses above the zero line, momentum's to the upside, and when it crosses below the zero line, momentum to the downside. And as you can see, it will cross below the zero line, basically 61,000. So 61,000 for me personally. 4 hour daily closures, probably a move back down to these lows. But I'm hoping that, as I just said on the weekly chart, that there are no weekly closures below that level, because that would be different to the rest of the moves that the bull market has provided us with so far. And so the contrary would be that indeed Bitcoin does make another move up from here, and it's really the same analysis as yesterday. I really want to see 4 hour daily closures back above this high, 64,000-ish, but even better would be back above this high, 66,000-ish. It's probably more like 66.5. And the first etchings would be back above these two highs here. So yeah, first move back above there, that would look good, particularly on a daily closure, and then see what happens. And I think momentum is still just to the upside on the 4 hour, but it won't take much to push it down, and well, the momentum on the daily is still down, so that would mean 4 hour and daily, so potentially then a bit more downside. Okay, there we go. That's the end of the video. Nice and short and snappy. Hope you enjoyed the C-Seed story. It's a true story. I found out today. If you've enjoyed the video, for whatever reason, then please like and subscribe. That would make me very happy. And if you haven't, don't come back tomorrow, because I'll be doing it all again for Wednesday. Okay, take care and bye.